Okay, so just heard that I'm visible now. So, okay, today we're going to talk about regular expressions. I'm not going to go in the biggest depth. I'm going to talk about basics and some very useful pieces of regular expressions that are not very well known with the general public. First of all, we're all Linux and Unix people, but the best pieces of regular expressions are not available to the POSIX implementation of regular expressions. So I'm not going to talk about those. I will talk about what we have available in the Unix world. So, oh, that's the wrong button, sorry. New presenter, get the right buttons. And I like this transition, so show it off.
Do it again.
So, to begin, what is a regular expression? Basically, what we use in the POSIX world, a regular expression is a sequence of characters that defines a search pattern. We use search patterns to match strings and to find and replace operations. We can do that in a whole range of different tools. For instance, VI, one of the best known, SED, awk, but also programming languages like Perl, Python, and a whole range of other stuff. We can use a shortcut, shorthand name. That can be regex or regex. Which one is it? They can be done both. On the Google Fight site, we have we can look at which one is the most popular. Google Fight compares two search terms and then shows you which term is used most. In the case of regex versus regex, the winner is regex. So, oh, sorry, working on two screens, so here you see the regex is definitely more popular than the regex. Enough of that fun. Go away. And a little bit of fun. This regular expression shows you both these shorthands. But I'll explain that if you don't understand why in a little bit. So, I mentioned earlier, where can you use regex? JavaScript is also one, and the object in JavaScript is actually called regexp. So it includes the P. For now, what are we going to cover? We're going to talk about the basics very quickly, some standard stuff. I'm going to discuss repetition, something that's not used a lot, but can be very powerful. I'm going to talk about greedy and lazy, grouping, and how you can make groups and reference them. There's a lot of interesting meta characters that you can use and boundary switches. And then I'm going to explain something about Vim. There's some really odd things in the Vim regex, so I'll explain that too. And finally, I'll have some very interesting links, and, which I will share with you. So the basics. We have a lot of special characters in regular expression. If you want to use those as a normal character, you have to escape it. And as a Unix guy, as Unix people, we all know the escape character, which of course is the backslash. I hope you can still see it on the presentation.
Well, we couldn't see it to start with, so... And you're also standing in front of it.
That's what you told me to do.
Yeah. I actually told you to stand in front of the whiteboard, but then you can't reach your laptop because your arms are not that long.
But I can still do it.
Ah, that might work. Let's try this one.
So, the next one is the wildcard. Everybody knows wildcard in regular expressions. If you don't know regular expressions. The dot. The dot is every character. One character. Except for one. The dot will not cover the end of line character. So there's two ways to specify the end of line character: \n or the $sign. Just like the caret is the beginning of line character, we have the dollar as the end of line character. I'm just assuming that everybody knows these basics in regular expressions, so I'll go through them pretty quickly. Another of the basics is the sets. By using square brackets, we can define a set of characters. By starting that set of characters with a caret, we reverse it, so we don't want those characters. But what about when we want to have the square brackets and the characters as a part of the set? And this is something that not many people know, so here's where the really interesting stuff starts. If you want to use any of these characters in a set, make sure that the opening bracket can be anywhere in the set. You can just use it. The closing bracket has to be the first character if you want it to be part of the set of characters. And the caret must not be the first character. So, if you want, did you have a black marker? So if we want the caret to be part of the set, we use first another character and then the caret. And that can be anywhere after the first character. Do we want the closing bracket? It has to be the first character. And that will allow us to use the closing bracket as a part of the set of characters. The opening bracket, we can do it at the beginning or anywhere in between. That doesn't really matter, because we already have an opening, and if it finds another opening bracket, it will just see it as part of the set.
It's not possible that you can use like a backslash for it and stuff.
No, because within a set, the backslash will be a character
Okay.
in the set. So, if people are interested in it, at the end I will explain something about something that's not part of the POSIX group, POSIX implementation, but Microsoft has it, is subsets within sets. So you can subtract a set from a certain set. Let's do it now. I'm talking about sets anyway. So I want, for instance, the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 7, 8, that's 9. 7, 8, 9. I can do that in POSIX. I can say 0 to 3, 7 to 9. Right? That's how we do it in POSIX. Under some Microsoft implementations, we can say I want 0 through 9 minus 4 through 6. It's not possible in POSIX. So in this case, it doesn't really matter. It's just as many characters. But there are instances where you, for instance, A through Z, and you want a couple of characters out of that set. And then it would be useful. So, not for POSIX, Microsoft.NET has it, and there are some other Microsoft implementations. So, now we're going to repetitions. We all know the star, question mark, maybe, plus. Those are the three best known repetition multipliers. So, anyone knows what the question mark means?
No, we don't.
0 or 1 instances of the previous character. So, for instance, the question mark means 0 or 1 of any character. No. The plus.
One or several.
Yes, 1 or more. And the star?
Sorry.
Sorry?
0 or several.
0 or more, yeah. So that's the big difference between the plus and the star. Is 1 too many or 0 too many. How would we do it if we want exactly 5 instances? We use curly braces. So let's take a Dutch postal code. That's 4 digits, a space, and 2 characters. In regular expressions, we can say one through 9, 0 through 9 times 3, because the first digit is never a 0. So 1 through 9, 0 through 9, 3 times. And then A through Z 2 times. So this would be the regular expression to verify if a postal code is correctly formatted. If you want to do it completely in regex, you replace the space with a meta character, but I'll get to that later on. Any questions about this one? I'll give it about 30 seconds to get to the webinar, so that if there's a question they can...
One question. Turn the whiteboard a little. Just like 20 degrees, something like that. See if we can get the lights off, because the lights are exactly on the text. Which sucks.
Johan, why don't you use a terminal so we can just
I can do that.
show that in real time?
This is a Windows machine. Doesn't have... I don't have a terminal available here for the presentation. Sorry. It was a good idea. Next time I'll remember. So now we have the fixed number of instances. But there's more to repetitions than just one fixed number. For instance, I want 5 or more instances. So 5 and any number. Or I want between 3 and 7. Between 3 and 7. We also have 0 to 5. Zero to 5, we can say that in a different way. We type it in a different way. I'm lazy. The less I have to type, the better. So this for me is 1 character too much. I will do it like this. Save me 1 character typing. Oops. Okay, so now let's look at the other repetition characters. The question mark can be written this way as well. But then again, I'm lazy. I'm not going to type 4 characters if I only have to type a question mark. So, but just to explain the difference of the similarities between them. The plus can be written as 1 comma and the star basically like that. So as with any Unix thing you can do, there's more ways than one to do it. Now, this brings us to the next item, that's greedy and lazy. By definition, regular expressions is greedy. So, for instance, if we look at this sentence, the man said, and then quotes, hello, and then asks, how are you doing? So we have a piece in quotes over here, and a piece in quotes over here. Now, if we run this regular expression against that sentence, it will grab as much as it can. So that basically means from the first from the first quotes to the last quotes. And this is what matches with this regular expression. Now what if we want to have the part between the first quotes? Only parts that's between quotes. So this part is not between quotes, so we don't want it. We can use a set with a negation character. And we say anything between quotes, as long as it's not a quote, and 0 or more times not a quote. That means we get hello, including the quotes, because quotes are part of the regular expression. What if we want both the quoted pieces? We modify the regular expression with a G for global. And you'll get both these pieces of the string. Now, something that does not work in VI, but in most other versions of regular expressions, is the lazy modifier. And really weird, that's the question mark. So what this regular expression says, a dot, 0 or more times, so any character 0 or more times, between quotes, but modified with the question mark, will make the regex lazy. So this will give you just the hello part between the quotes. And a couple of regex implementations, not in POSIX again, can use this way of noting it down. So curly braces with a dash also makes a regular expression lazy. In this case, the curly braces with a dash is the same as star question mark. Grouping. Yes.
Even, ik doe het even Nederlands, maar even terug naar die voor. Hier met die question mark, kan je dan ook kan je daar ook dan een G achter zetten, dat die dan allebei doen?
Yes.
Okay.
So the question was if you can use the global modifier with the lazy question mark. Answer is yes. The global modifier can be used anywhere after a regular expression. After every regular expression, so to make it global for search. Grouping. Grouping is a very interesting thing. In the previous example, we saw that the quotes are part of the search string and also the result. So you search for the quotes, you get the quotes. Now, if we say, for instance, I want anything sorry. What I do here is I say I'm looking for anything between quotes that's not a quote, and I want to have this part of the search in a group. Then in the previous line, the previous example, we'll get only the hello part without the quotes. If we specify that we want to return the first group, these braces create a group. So anything between those will be marked as group 1. So now if we return group 1, we'll get hello instead of hello with the quotes around it. You can use as many of these brace pairs as you like, and each brace pair will be a group. So if you have three brace pairs, you can use \1, \2, and \3 to return those groups. For instance, if we want to have get the letter parts of a postal code back, we use the regular expression that we created earlier. But now we put braces around that, and if we say \1, we only get the letter part. If we also put braces around this, then \1 returns the number part. And the funny thing is, if you do \2, \1, you get first the number part, and second, first you get the letter part, and second you get the number part. So you can do a lot of interesting things with it. Now, let's say you want to search for something or something else. In this sentence we have double quotes around the word hello and single quotes around the word how are you. Now let's have a look at our previous slide. If we are going to use the first example, this will only give us hello, but we want all that's quoted. So we use a grouping character, so that's the braces. And now, who can tell me what this will return? This will return this entire sentence. So instead of the dot here, we would now do the and let's put the G behind it for global, and this will return hello and how are you separately. Because we use the pipe character as an OR basically. So the first group that we look for is a single quote or a double quote. Then any character that's not a single quote or a double quote, followed by a double quote or a single quote. And we find the first character we find in this line is a double quote. So this group is true. Then the regex will look until we find a character that is a single or a double quote. Then this part will end. And because we find a single or a double quote here, we move into this one and we see, hey, it's a single or a double quote, so this one is true as well. We have found our piece. Hello in quotes. You still follow me?
No, like if you want, you can also run Linux through the browser. So you can show everything on the screen.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I got the URL is willard.org/JSLinux.
Kun je even de vraag herhalen, Johan? Nee,
Oh, the question is, here in the audience, someone would like to see it in real life. And there is a website where we can go to show,
It's like BE.
but I have to turn around.
ben je stoel, Johan?
Yeah. So what is the...
BELLARD.org/JSLinux. That's the one, yes.
No, let's do it. I'll give you something that I was planning to give you later on. It's a link to regex. So the link is regex101.com, and it's a very nice website where you can test out your regular expressions. So we're going to make a test sentence. This is bad for my neck. Okay, so the sentence is, hello, he said, followed by, how are you? If we are going to look for a single or a double or a single quote, followed by any character that's not a single or a double quote, double or a single quote, whatever you like, 0 or more times, followed by a double or a single quote, it shows you that the green group is this group, the center part is hello, and the second group is this group. Now, if we want it over the entire line, we use the G for global, and you see it will find both the quoted pieces of text. The nice thing about this website is that on the right side, it explains exactly how the regular expression is interpreted, and below that it shows you exactly what is found in groups, for instance. So let's go back to the presentation. And the next thing is boundaries and meta characters. Boundaries, for instance, if you have a word that you want to find, but you don't know if it's at the beginning of the line, or if there's a space, or a comma, or a period, or any other character, but you do want to know the end of the word. \b is a word boundary. Any character that's not part of a word is and follows a word character, so a letter or a digit. Those are the word characters. Is marked by the \b. I can show you in this example. For instance, we're looking for a word that, well, you already see all the places where the \b says, okay, this is part of a word boundary. At the beginning and the end of every word, the \b will mark it as a word boundary. If, for instance, we want the word set, and we don't know what's behind the word set, so we use the \b.
Can you zoom in, please? Control plus, zo? Ah, precies. Ah, cool. Oh, dat is een beetje te...
Oops, that's the next. So here we see that there's a comma behind the word set, but we just act as if we don't know that. So how do we find out where the word set is? By using the \b, the word boundary, the word boundary. And as I said before, if you just use the word the \b, it will show you everywhere it sees a word boundary. Very useful site, this one. That's the most important boundary that we get. So it's the only one I'm going to discuss here. The rest I'm going to discuss are meta characters. What I mentioned earlier in with the postal code, the space, you can use a \s. Why would you do that? It's clearer that there is a space. If you have, for instance, if you type two spaces in a proportional font, it's hard to see that you type two spaces. So using the \s, it makes it clearer that you really mean a space character. $, we all know the $, as the end of line. \n is also end of line. They can be used simultaneously. Or they can be used both. There's no meta character for the beginning of line. Digits. As we all know, in computers we have three types of digits, especially in Linux and Unix. We have decimals, hexadecimals, and octal. We also have binaries, but that's only 0 and 1. We don't need a meta character for that. For decimal, hexadecimal, and octo characters, digits, we have a meta characters, the \d, \x, and the \o. Head of a word. This is used to find the beginning of a word. So comparable to the \b, the boundary. Actually, this is not a meta character. This is boundary. The \b looks at the beginning and the ends of words. The \h only at the beginning of words. And to show that, we can use okay. Now I'm feeling like a big fool. It's a white space in this version of regular expressions. In VI, it definitely is not a white space. So, yeah, this is weird. I'll explain later how I know that it's not, because this list I got from one of the links I'll give you later on, which is specifically for Vim, regular expressions in Vim. So I actually know that for a fact that this is not a white space in Vim, but okay. Now we all know those \3-digit characters that we can't do anything with, non-printable characters. You can search for them in regular expressions with the \p. Any word character, basically anything that comes between \b's. So these two work pretty well together. \b, \w, star. Here you see that anything up to the word boundary is found by the \w. We add a \b, you'll get anything. So basically what does anyone know why we get the whole line here, except for the quote and the question mark and the single quote?
Nope.
Because regex is greedy. We grab as much as we can. The dot star goes from everything up to the last word boundary, which is at the U. And how can we get rid of that greediness and make it lazy? And that's going to work here, which doesn't work in POSIX. We add a question mark. So this gives you hello, the word he, word set, and anything. Yep. So we have the word character and alphabetic characters. Word characters is A through Z and numbers. Alphabetic characters is only A through Z. Then finally here we have lower and uppercase. So you can look for lowercase, uppercase with the set A through Z, capital or non-capital. But you can also use the backslash L for lowercase and backslash U for uppercase. Now, all these meta characters have a funny thing. You can negate them by using capital. So backslash capital S means anything but the white space. Backslash capital L, anything but lowercase letters. It goes further than uppercase, because backslash U is only uppercase letters. Backslash capital L is capital letters, digits, special characters, anything, all characters except lowercase letters.
And like backslash B, that is like, for example, if you have like Chinese symbols, it would take those.
Backslash capital P will give you all non-printable characters. So depending on your character set, if you have if you have a regular ASCII, you only have the standard letters. Backslash P will give you anything that's not standard letters, standard characters.
Okay.
Are there any questions? Other questions? I'll wait about 30 seconds so the online people have time to react as well. So, yeah, sound's still working.
But in what case do we use the boundaries? For what for?
Sorry,
In what case do we need boundaries? The first.
the boundaries, the
Yeah.
backslash B.
Yeah.
If
Why?
you, well, if we look at the for instance, we are looking for a word, and we don't know if it's at the beginning of the line. We don't know. Let me see if I have.
What if the word contains a letter? Is it
Sorry, if the word contains
a letter?
When you
the number.
were searching for
or
allow,
number?
Yeah.
when you search allow,
So
when you search allow, you match follow. Or when you search help, you don't want to match hello, so, and then you can use the boundaries.
correct. Where is my? Let's make it interesting. Now you find hello, but we want the entire word hello, and not just the entire word hello, and not as part of a another word. So if we use the word boundaries, it doesn't find it because it's not in the well, let's look for low. Yeah, because followed has the word low. And then
Okay.
yeah, that's one of the reasons why you would use the main reason actually to use boundaries. As you can see, low ends with there's a double quote behind it.
Yep.
You don't have to know what's behind it, because you'll find anything that's not a word boundary, anything that's a word boundary will be right.
Yeah.
Am I still making sense? Good. And we carry on. So I mentioned earlier that Vim has a couple of weird things in it. We can use repetitions, no problems, but not just like that. The question mark, plus sign, the curly brace, the braces and the pipe all need to be escaped. Really weird, because escape means take away its meaning and use it as a standard character. Not in Vim. If we want to use the question mark as a multiplier, 0 or 1 instances, we have to use the backslash. Same with the plus. 1 or more instances, backslash. And the lazy question mark doesn't work. So the example that I gave earlier here with the no, what was it? Sorry. Okay. So, this is what would happen in greedy mode, and if we make it lazy, we only get everything between double quotes. Does not work in Vim. So the lazy question mark is a very useful thing. It's not available to people that use Vim. Pity, but that's life. If you want more info on regular expressions in Vim, you can go to the vimregex.com website, and it explains a whole lot more than what I've been telling about tonight, specifically for Vim. Yeah, so don't try to use it anywhere else, because that website is only for Vim. So, are there any questions?
You know, like, I know in PHP you also, I'm not sure JavaScript as well, but you also got like a double backslash.
Yeah. So the question is, in PHP you have the double backslash, which stands for the backslash character. Yeah.
But is it just for PHP or is
No, no. It's in, I think, most, if not all, implementations of regular expressions that the double backslash is the backslash character. It's the escape backslash. So that's the very first thing I mentioned. Escape character is the backslash. If you want the backslash, use the double backslash to escape the backslash. Anything else? Did you miss anything? Is there anything you think, oh, I was hoping this was going to be discussed?
What's the best programming language to use regular expressions? Is it just Perl, or are there any other languages you can use?
You can use Pro, you can use Python, you can use PHP. It's all your own preference. What's your favorite programming language? If it's a Unix-based programming language, chances are it will have a form of regular expressions implemented in the language. If you go to Windows-based programming languages, there's almost for everyone there's an object that implements regular expressions. And most of the times, I hate to say this, but those versions are more extensive than the ones that we get in Unix.
And shell, does shell also support?
Well, yes and no. Shell directly, for instance, in an if statement or a while loop, or there is a way to use regular expressions in an if statement. But performing regular expressions on the contents of a variable, you will need for a set command, SED. So you echo the variable through pipe, through set, and then you can use regular expressions. Grep, for instance, you can use regular expressions in grep.
egrep.
egrep. Egrep is basically a version of grep that looks for more than one search pattern. So the pipe character is used to separate the different search patterns. You cannot use the pipe pattern in the regular grep unless you use the -e option. And the grep -e is the same as the egrep command. In fact, the egrep, the fgrep are both symbolic link, soft links to the grep command. So it's exactly the same command, except the command name shows, hey, it's an egrep. And fgrep is the same as grep -f. Any other questions? Any questions from the online audience?
Not so far, so I'm asking again. Nope, nothing here.
No. Then, to finish things off, I would like to give you some interesting links. First of all, the website where most of the information I gave you tonight came from, the regular-expressions.info website. Anything you want to know about regular expressions, that's the place to go. And it's a completely free website, so if you feel like it, you can support them with a donation. These guys are doing a hell of a job to explain regular expressions. Well, the regex101.com, it's the site I use to give you some examples and show you how some of the regula's work. Very useful to try out the more intricate regular expressions. Another very, very good site is the regexer.com. It's a tutorial site, and you can try out stuff as well. So very, very useful. And then the fun part, Yes, you can have fun with regex. One of the older sites, I think it's even a Flash site, is the regex of the dead. It's a first-person shooter that uses regex. You have to kill zombies with regex. The zombies, let's go there. And it doesn't show. Well, have a look at it. It's really funny. There's zombies and regular people coming at you, and they have their name typed over their head, and you have to make sure that they are dead by typing in a regex. Of course you can do .star, but then everybody dies, including the good people. So you have to type in fast, look quickly, and I think it's a fun site, but see for yourself. Then there's the regex crosswords, and that's a site where you get regexes that combine and create letters. So you have two regexes in a grid. You have, say, you have 4 fields in a grid, and you have 2 horizontal regexes, 2 vertical regexes, and those two combined create letters. I'll show you an example later on. Then there's this site, the regex golf, where you get 2 lists of words, and you have to create a regex that matches the words on the left, but not the words on the right. I like regex, so I like these sites. Have a look at them, play with them, and yeah, have fun with them. So, a regex crossword. Here's the challenge. What does it say?
Johan is the greatest.
No, it's 6 letters. Well, I'll give a little bit of an explanation. To get the letter in this box, both this regex and this regex have to match. And that's for each box, the 2 regexes have to match. Anyone online found out what the answer is?
Is this the answer of the whole thing, or is this one?
Sorry?
Is it this like, are you asking for the answer of the whole thing?
Yeah,
or
the whole thing.
Oh.
So, all 6 letters.
It's very quiet online.
What does this one mean? All capitals. So combine that with this one. Oh, there's a plus. Did the plus mean?
One or more.
One or more. What does this one mean?
One of those.
3 times.
One of those 3 times. So you got only capitals and one of those 3 times.
T.
Which character is in that?
T.
It's the capital T. Yeah. So if you do that for all of these, what do you get?
And we're not leaving until it's solved.
I need more coffee.
There's more cool.
There is more coffee.
The M. The end.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attendance. And I hope you've enjoyed it.